I want you to imagine for a moment that you've got a cookie jar in your kitchen. It doesn't really have a lid or anything, so your kids can just dip in and take a cookie pretty much whenever they want. And if you've got rules against taking more than one or two, they just reach in whenever your back is turned. That's pretty frustrating. So you buy a new cookie jar. This one has a lid that locks, and only you have the key. Well, that pisses your kids off pretty quickly, doesn't it? So now they can only get a cookie when you allow them to. So what do? They go into the garage, grab your hammer, and wait for the right moment to just smash the thing. And bingo, bango, bongo, they've got cookies again. Well, what do? Well, you know my answer. You beat their ass. Now, this leads us to the story at hand. If you've been paying attention to the folks like my buddy Glenn Beck, I'm coming for you, Beck, you know that the Federal Reserve has been looking for ways to switch us over from the American dollar to the digital American dollar for quite a while. And pretty soon they might get their chance. The leader of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, or as I like to call him, Chairman Powell, recently stated that he looks forward to engaging with the public, elected representatives, and a broad range of stakeholders as we examine the positives and negatives of a central bank digital currency in the United States. Now, if you weren't paying close attention, you might miss the lead he just buried, the lead he just buried there. Up front, there's a nice little litany of buzzwords that you and I would like to hear. We're going to talk to the American people and their elected officials. Nothing to worry about. If they don't like it, we won't do it. Meanwhile, he's got that hammer behind his back, and his hand is just itching to bust into that new cookie jar. Because you see, that's what the current digital market is, a locked cookie jar. The digital free market has been huge in the years since it first came about, and now the government desperately wants to get its greedy, power-hungry hands on it and control it. The thing, the buzzwords we're hiding is 4 words: central bank digital currency. Follow me now. Central bank digital currency. Look, it's patently obvious to anyone who's been paying attention for pretty much forever that governments are terrible at running markets and great at grabbing control of them. And if you think that Chairman Powell has any interest in what the American people have to say about this, you're not thinking critically enough. The world of digital currency is going to be a scary one under government control. The same principles of bad governance and legislation that have landed us in the current inflationary mess will apply every bit as strongly to the digital world, if not more so. Your money will be worth less than it's worth right now, and it's not worth much right now. For every American dollar you own, you're probably looking at 60 cents of digital spending power. So what's my solution? Well, I'm glad you asked. We got to beat that ass. And we do that by rooting out corruption first in the elected sector, and then from there in the appointed sector. I know it's like you bought a pooper scooper to the septic tank, but there really is no other choice. The more power we give these people, the worse the economy is going to get. Period. End of story. And seriously, if you believe that these people have your best interest in mind, I got a bridge to sell you. But I only take cash for the bridge, all right? Yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it. We're screwed.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
We're screwed. Anyway, because you got dudes like, you got that Biden speech clip that you can pull up. I want to show you why we're screwed. I just want to show you where we've headed. They asked me, Amy, in a candidate forum. Mm-hmm. They said besides, they kind of do this little fun little lightning round. Mm-hmm. And they were like, okay, besides the Donald Trump or Ronald Reagan, who's your most favorite president? Mm-hmm. And then you got to think, right? So one of the candidates said, and we couldn't copy each other, said Abraham Lincoln. Uh-huh. I said Thomas Jefferson. The other guy said George Washington, right? Uh-huh. Well, you could think of all these different great leaders from history, right? And then we wound up with this guy. Play the clip.
Imagine being the parent, making the minimum wage or twice the minimum wage, and having a child with type 1 diabetes, knowing that if you can't, and have no insurance, knowing if you cannot get that money for the insulin, your child may die. In addition to your child, it strips you of your dignity, damn it. Can you imagine looking at your child and you know what they need and not be able to do it? Many of you have lost children. Many of you have seen. Imagine. It's outrageous. And we have an answer. At the same time, same is true for home and community-based services for seniors and people with disabilities.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what's undignified and terrible if you're a parent. I just saw a clip this week of a guy who wanted to go see his daughter play in a basketball game in the YMCA. He carries with him a doctor's note that says he's exempt from getting the vaccine because he has a heart issue. And they won't let him in to go see his daughter play basketball at the YMCA. So that's the kind of thing. So shut up, Joe. You're a moron.